Today, I want to talk about how the stock market is about to break. Citadel has taken a record short position in treasuries through their basis trade, and these treasuries are so far up nearly 30% on the year. If Citadel continues to hold this short for much longer, and these treasuries continue to rise, Citadel will be liquidated. So stay tuned and let's make some money. And now I'll dive straight in with the key information. So, Markets and Mayhem tweeted saying there's a record short position in treasuries due to the basis trade, and asked saying will it unwind without something breaking. You can see Citadel and other hedge funds previously had the record short in treasuries in 2019, with over 3 million contracts held. Obviously, in 2020, Citadel had to be bailed out by the Fed for holding this basis trade short. The Fed had to come in and buy up these contracts at face value, giving these hedge funds, market makers, and major banks liquidity to survive. I covered this bailout in one of my recent videos, but we can see that right now in 2023, this basis trade or treasury short position is now even larger, nearly 5 million contracts worth. Not only are these just regular short positions, but they're actually leveraged funds treasury short positions. You can see these shorts are on the 10-year treasury notes, the 5-year notes, and the 2-year notes. But for example, if we look at the 5-year treasury notes, so far in the last 6 months, they're up nearly 30%. If these treasury notes continue rising, Citadel, other hedge funds and other market makers, or others taking this basis trade, will be liquidated. And either the Fed will step in, giving Citadel a taxpayer bailout using your money, or once and for all, Citadel will actually be done for. Not only this, but Moodys has also announced a negative outlook on the US credit rating. It says Moodys on Friday changed its outlook on the US credit rating to negative from stable, citing large fiscal deficits and a decline in debt affordability. The Treasury Secretary even specifically stated that Treasury securities, or US Treasury securities, are the world's preeminent, safe and liquid asset, basically suggesting that many people out there want to buy those US Treasury notes, which will only push the prices up even higher. Especially with what's currently going on in other countries around the world, like in China and in Japan, these US Treasury notes are likely to only go even higher as external countries continue to buy US notes. And saying Treasury yields have soared over the last few months to 16-year highs on expectations the Federal Reserve will keep monetary policy tight, which is also echoed by the FedWatch estimate suggesting the US isn't planning to cut rates until at least May of 2024. So it looks like these treasuries will be higher for longer, and Citadel's position will keep continuing to move against them until eventually Citadel ends up liquidated. We also had some more absolutely brilliant trades from the Millionaire Mindset Trading Group. Yesterday, I also called the S&P 500 for $40 calls, which ended up running 85%. And this morning, I also called the S&P 500 for $48 calls, which ran over 100%. You can see I alerted the group to buy call options at 2:45 p.m. GMT, which is 9:45 market timing. At 9:45, those call options were trading for 65 cents per share and ended up running to highs of $1.35. The group has been absolutely on fire lately, and we're nearly at 60 members in around 2 weeks. So guys, be sure to join the Millionaire Mindset Trading Group linked in the description below, with a 100% guaranteed refund if you don't make a profitable trade in the first 30 days. On top of that, you may have also seen that B. Riley Financial, one of those hedge funds shorting AMC, was down 30% on the day yesterday alone. Bigham's added this screenshot that said investment advisory firm B. Riley Financial is facing some uncomfortable questions about its links to an ongoing fraud investigation. It says here Brian Kahn, the head of franchise group, was named by Bloomberg as a possible co-conspirator in a $294 million fraud case in connection with a co-founder of Prophecy Asset Management. B. Riley has invested nearly $500 million of their money this year into franchise. It will be interesting to see if B. Riley continues falling on this news and if B. Riley are indeed roped up in this giant fraud case as well. Something I also thought was really interesting was this tweet from Boss Blunts. You may have heard a while ago about Goldman Sachs being fined for marking 60 million short sales as long asset sales. But what I didn't know is just how many shares they incorrectly marked. Boss Blunts tweet saying Goldman Sachs submits documentation for mismarking 60 million short sale orders as long asset sales, totaling more than 14 billion shares. Obviously, yes, this took place between 2015 and 2018, so potentially isn't anything specifically to do with AMC, but it's 14 billion shares. If this was happening between 2015 and 2018 with Goldman Sachs, what's to say it isn't happening today with stocks like AMC, GameStop and others? And if they manage to short sell 14 billion shares incorrectly, that's not even 2 or 3 times the AMC float pre-split, that's nearly 28 times the AMC float all incorrectly shorted. I think this fine really goes to show just how many synthetic AMC shares or incorrectly shorted shares could really be out there. This is the number of shares incorrectly shorted by just one firm. Yes, it's over a 3-year period, but don't forget there's been 3 years between the start of 2021 and the end of 2023. So based on this, there could easily be 14 billion shares incorrectly short sold on AMC, especially when you consider that it's not just going to be by one hedge fund, it's going to be potentially by a number of them. To me, it goes to show just how many incorrectly shorted shares could really be out there. And don't forget, all of these incorrectly shorted shares are still liabilities on their balance sheets. So when the price of AMC goes up, these liabilities get larger and larger and larger until these hedge funds, market makers and institutions don't have the cash or the margin to meet those margin requirements. Now, Planet of the Apes has helped point out how you can easily find shills in the comment section and on Twitter. He's tweeted this screenshot saying the circus is in town and the clowns are big sad. As you can see, the street has reposted about how AMC just set its best Q3 revenue and best Q3 profits in the company's entire history, saying AMC's third quarter results show the company is making significant strides in its post-pandemic recovery. But yet you've got all those clowns and all those shills trying to convince you guys that Adam Aron is the problem. If anything, Adam Aron is what's causing AMC to be successful and not to end up delisted and bankrupt. While I've stated before that I don't agree with Adam Aron issuing new shares, especially now that AMC is cash generative, everything else Adam Aron has done has only helped AMC generate more revenues, more profit, and become cash sustainable. But yet you still have all the shills out there trying to tell you that it's Adam Aron's fault AMC hasn't squeezed yet, and not due to the illegal crime, the manipulative short selling, the terrible SEC rules with no enforcement, and everything else that's going on. At this point, I can almost assure you that it's not Adam Aron's fault, it's the fault of those illegal short sellers and the paid off SEC. Something interesting I also wanted to remind you of is this tweet from Dade Murphy, who tweeted saying, reminder, the oral argument on the defendant's motion to dismiss the amended complaint is scheduled for tomorrow in the Northwest Biotherapeutics case. So obviously Northwest Biotherapeutics, the plaintiff, accused the defendants of a scheme to manipulate the NWBO share price. And obviously those defendants are Citadel Securities, G1 Execution Services, Susquehanna Virtue and others. So it will be interesting to see if this lawsuit does get dismissed or if Northwest Biotherapeutics actually have some grounds for this legal suit. I personally am very much hoping this lawsuit goes into discovery and Citadel and those other market makers are required to disclose all information about that share price manipulation. But guys, be sure to let me know what you think down in the comments below. And as always guys, be sure to ding that notification bell, because that way you'll be alerted when I upload a new video. Cheers.